I am having some absolutely fantastic fun at the moment with my shrimp tanks, especially this one here. This is hard. Which has got a load of rare shrimp in it that are breeding like crazy. There's babies galore. And then I've just got some standard sort of Neocaridina shrimp over the other ones over there, but I love them just as much. And now is the time to change this one up so it, falls in line with the rest of them. It just looks rubbish, doesn't it? But I want to do another shrimp tank next to that now. Nice and simple like the rest, because I'm getting such good success with them and I want more. You can never have enough shrimp. So yeah, this tank here was a holding tank, but now I want it to be a feature tank. So I'm gonna clean that up in 3, 2, 1, now. There we go, look. Perfectly clean. Well, not perfect, but clean enough to start. I never worried too much about getting everything spotless, just because it's gonna get dirty anyway, as we now start to put the substrate in. So down here, I've got a mixture of all different substrates and whatnot. I've just got plain gravel in this one, finer gravel in this one. I've got my aquatic compost in this bag. I'll use these to create the nutrient layer, but before that, I want to build up some height in the background, and you can use anything for this that you want. You can use like pea gravel, just any gravel, just to build that height. I'm just going to use some recycled stuff that I've got here. It's got a mixture of gravel, sand, aqua soil. I'm not treating this as the nutrient layer. Don't worry, it can be anything. The main nutrients are coming from the aquatic pond soil, which just works so well. Yeah, so remember, the first layer that's going in here is irrelevant to the whole build, the nutrients that we're putting in. Yes, it's got some nutrients in it, but it's so old, there's probably not a lot left in it now. I'm literally just piling it in there just to create a slope and more height in the background area, because then when we plant our plants in that back area, they'll already be at a good height, looking amazing straight away. Now on top of this layer is where we put our nutrients. Now I like to go for about equal parts of gravel. A pea gravel is good, just about the right sizing, we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, equal parts gravel to pond soil. Now the point of the gravel is to make sure that the soil doesn't just come completely compressed and this gunky, horrible little layer in the whole system. The gravel makes sure that it can't completely bind together and create a pocket of stagnation, because the organics in the soil will break down and create CO2, which is really good for the tank. However, if they're trapped underneath the substrate, eventually they'll get like a sulfurousy methane smell, and it'll just be, a ticking time bomb. And we don't want that. So what it basically allows is the water to traverse through the layer and just allow for good gas exchange. Now this layer is not as big as the bottom layer. I go for about 1 inch all over, or anywhere you're going to be having plants. Say you didn't want to bring any right to the foreground, but I do in this scape, so look, I'm coming right up to the front, and then I'll drag that back in a minute as well. Just keep it nice and even everywhere, and that is going to be plenty in that area, for instance. Do the same on the other side. And then next up is to cover this layer in whatever decorative sand you choose. Right, we've currently got the ultimate base. No, we have. I'm laughing because I did that really cheesily, but now we can add in the hardscape, and I'm going for something really simple. I just want 1 rock. Can we make an amazing tank with 1 rock? Yes, I think we can. Well, I've currently got a tank with 1 rock using this stuff. Actually, it's got about 4 rocks, but it only looks like 1 rock. I like that though, but this is the one I'm thinking of. Well, it's a toss-up between 2. This one looks cool, look, just flat. Like you can see, it's got its own triangular composition instantly. Or then there's this one, which I actually love the texture of. This is the elderly stone, obviously the other one's Siriu. I just love these edges. It looks like an actual cliff face. And yeah, maybe that way around, but it's kind of dull in comparison. Plus, the Siriu stone will make the water go a bit harder as well, which is means that the shrimp, which are going to go in there, are going to like it. They both will, in all honesty, but I think I'm leaning towards this one. It's got horrible old algae and stuff on it that I do need to give it a brush up. Wire brush, quintessential. Ugh.
Also covered in algae.
Wire brush, quintessential. I'm just gonna, please don't slip out my hand, plonk it in right in the middle, which is not normally something you do in an aquascape. Tilt it back slightly so the light can actually catch the front. Done. Some of my best work, I think. Right, I want to start now with the foreground plants, and what better than my favourite one. Are you feeling? Yeah. A lovely bit of glossostigma. So this stuff spreads really, really fast once it gets going. Usually I use it with CO2, but I know it can work well without it as well. As can be seen here, look, in this no filter aquarium I've got, look, it's just spreading everywhere. Now it's taken a lot longer to do it, but you know, within time, what's this been, a couple of months? And almost got a full carpet. So I'm gonna have to be a bit brutal here to the tank.
Tray.
This tray, yeah.
Tray's back.
Semi-clean tray. I'm gonna have to rip up parts of the plant, which looks brutal, but you can quite easily just push more stuff back in, so it'll be absolutely fine. And it grows everywhere anyway. And then we can just move to another patch, just tear a bit up, because there's plenty to go round. And the job now is to take all this and split it into individual little plants that we can plant all into the new substrate system. So that's all of the foreground plants I want to do for now, and then it's back to the stems in the background, which I'm going to take from everywhere around the studio. I'm just going to take snippets of everything, just make it look like some sort of meadow. I think that'd be cool. But to do that, I find it a lot easier when there's water in the tank, because everything just sits right. So I'm just going to fill this up nice and slowly now. So you might have seen in the time lapse there, the rock fell over. This is because the sand isn't fully compacted until the water goes in, and then all those tiny little air voids become like shh, and that was enough movement to make it fall over, but not a problem. Could have been a problem.
Could have been really bad.
Anyway, so yeah, stem plants coming next, but before that, just a little bit of detail in between all these plants. I think it might look quite nice. So I've got this gravel here, which will work really well. Kind of similar tones to the cereal stone that's in there, but it is very dirty, so I need to wash it. I don't know if this is going to work. So that is looking really good. A nice little touch of the stones, I think. You know, a way of filling in those gaps when you can't completely cover in like one plant. It's gonna grow in, it's gonna grow into the rocks as well. It just looks fantastic over time. But for now, we need to collect up some stem plants from around the studio. And the first ones I wanna get is these stems that we've got up here in the discus tank that look so good. So this is Ludwigia grandulosa. It's a beautiful plant. The problem is it's massively infected with this horrible algae in there. Look at that. It's like it's basically moss ball algae, clad of flora, and it's a bit of a pain. I mean, it's not too horrendous. It's not like string algae that just covers everything straight away. It takes time to build up. So what I'm going to do is just put these in like an algicide dip, like nice and quickly concentrated, and that should kill off any of that cladophora algae ready for the next tank. If there's a little bit left, I mean, it's not that much of a problem. It's quite easy to get out. So yeah, I can't not use a beautiful plant like this just because of that. Just have to learn to accept it. There we go, collected up a nice little collection there. So we've got Ludwigia granulose, we've got Rotala hra and Ludwigia palustria super red, loads of Siamensis 53B. I might not use all of that, but I've harvested it anyway. A few nice sprigs of compact Limnophila, and then some pearlweed. Not too much, gonna keep it all in one section. So now's gonna be a good time to put the filter on, because then I can build all the plants around it. Right, I think I'll go for the Siamensis 53B first. Big green bit in the corner. Look at that, it's going to hide the whole filter system quite well. A couple of dodgy leaves, but that's all right, we can prune that as we go. Oh, look at that layering.
It's like a fine haircut.
I wouldn't know. Well, and I think I'm going to go for another touch of green next to the Siamensis 53B with this one, the Limnophila. Different texture, more green, but yeah, just sort of merge into reds. Well, it's the next day. The tank's cleared up quite nice, but oh dear, the sticky thing pad on the sponge filter just will not stick. So I'm gonna have to put a weight on it. That's exactly what I did with the tank next door here, look, and it sits perfectly then. So yeah, I think it's pulled up a load of plants as well, which is really annoying. So I've got a collection of plant weights. Just snip that there. Loop these inside. Then all I've got to do, wrap that around there, and then I can loop it around the back of the filter. There we go, that should work now. Perfect. Now the filter coming up and pulling up the plants, then replanted them, has inevitably sort of dustied the water up a little bit there. But the good thing about a nano tank like this is you can just really quickly pull the water down and fill it back up again. Just as I was doing the time lapse of filling this up again, I saw at the edge of the screen this tank, and the shrimp look amazing moving around. So I'm going to put a little bit of food in and just time lapse it because it looks awesome. There's so many in there. So it's now a few days later, the tank is looking absolutely perfect. After a couple of days, all the plants you've put in, they sort of, if they're like growing at funny angles, they all start to grow upright and towards the light, and that's what we've got now. Yeah, look at that. We are crystal clear, looking so good. The reds on all the plants are popping way more now that the water's like actually clear. When it had that misting and a bit of the sand in it, it's kind of dulling it all down, but now it looks so good. But with that said, what is going in this tank, I hear you ask? Well, obviously we've got our special orange eyes in this one, and I've got mainly yellow Sakura in this one. You can see, look, there we go. Oh, no, it doesn't want to focus. There we go, look. Look at those beauties. But you know what? If I'm being honest with you, I don't care. Not in a bad way. What I mean is, like, I'm not worried about what type of shrimp they are. I like all the shrimp. Like, even the little brown or clear ones, I just think they're all cool. So I'm not fussed about getting specific strains. It's nice to have the orange-eyed blue shrimp. I love those. But, you know, I just like boosting the population of everything. So I'm going to go full Skittles in this one and just mix it up. So I've got an absolute ton of shrimp in this tank here. I think these will all be nice to go in. Well, not all of them, but, you know, a good selection. They're breeding, as you can see, because there's babies. Sometimes it's good to take out the older adults and just let the young ones grow up and just continue the cycle. And again, it's the same case in this tank here. There are loads and loads of, oh, that one's just hiding, but that is buried shrimp. It's a buried shrimp. That means it's got eggs. Come on, keep coming. That's a Bloody Mary as well. That's a proper red one. See how it's got red legs? Cool, that's good stock, that one. And we've got some nice males dotted around as well, look. Really nice. So I'm just going to collect up a bunch and, yeah, let them do their thing. Oh. Oh, yes. Cool, that's a nice one. She's buried. This one's buried. Look, come around. We've got a buried female. Awesome. Always good for a new tank.
Full to the brim.
There's loads and loads of babies in the yellow Sakura tank, so I'm gonna put some in with the Skittles as well. You know, spread the gene pool a bit. Oh, that's a really. So all the temperatures are matching, so I'm happy to put these guys straight in. There we go. And I know that it's a new tank, but the bioload of those is absolutely nothing. And we've got a ton of plants from other aquariums that have got loads of beneficial bacteria all over them. Like, there's no issue at all. I will be testing the water come tomorrow morning, but I think they're gonna absolutely love this. So if any of you are watching this thinking, I really like these little shrimp, it's something I'd like to get involved in, then definitely do it. Now, I'm obviously making a video production for you and I'm able to do this all quite quickly, but there's absolutely no reason for you to rush it. You know, once you've planted the plants in, fill the tank up for the first time, just keep it running for a few weeks. Even longer if you're happy to wait, get those plants growing in really nicely. The water parameters will be perfect then by the time you come to add your shrimp. Now, I'm capable of carefully monitoring the water, changing it very quickly if needed, if there's an issue, but you might not be as experienced with that. So like I say, just don't rush it. Now, I tend to cycle my tanks a little bit differently to most. I kind of use the plants to do all the work and regular water changes and a low bioload to start with. And given that there's only a few shrimp really, for the amount of plants in this tank, everything is all good. But don't go just putting a couple of plants in, shrimp straight away and just expect it to be okay, because it probably won't be. So like I say, take your time with it, let the plants grow in a little bit, trim them, plant them back in, and just get that little beautiful garden growing, and then add your shrimp later on. But yeah, if you fancy giving it a go, I definitely recommend that you do. It's a lot of fun watching them grow, breed. You know, you come in and look one day and there's tons of babies everywhere. It's really exciting. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this one and I'll see you guys on the next one.